Welcome to One-on-One, the Daily Items weekly digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is the new Danville Business Alliance president, Rebecca Dressler, interviewed by reporter Karen Blackledge.
How can your summer memories last for the next 6 years? With a new Kia from Sunbury Motors Kia and up to 6 years interest-free.
Hi, I'm Karen Blackledge. Welcome to One-on-One. Today we're speaking with Rebecca Dressler, the new executive director of the Danville Business Alliance.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Becca. You were appointed to replace Jim Wilson, who retired at the end of the year. When was your appointment effective?
July 16th I started, so last Monday.
And of course, Jim served as executive director for 10 years.
Yes.
And you had been working in another position for a short time after leaving the Alliance. And
right.
What position was that you were in?
I worked at Pinpoint Federal Credit Union. I was a financial specialist over there.
And before that, you had worked at the Alliance here. And what was your position here?
I was Jim's executive assistant here.
And how long?
For about 2 years. For almost 2 years.
Okay. And what made you decide to accept the executive director's position?
You know, I had a conversation with Jim, with Mr. Wilson, and you know, he had encouraged me to apply for that position previously, and then asked me to reconsider after had gone through the interview process with others, and I said, I would give it some consideration, and I interviewed for it, and I felt that it was the right thing for me to do. It was, I'm excited to be back.
And in your previous position here, what kind of duties did you have with the Alliance?
I did some marketing, business development. I took care of the financial aspects of, the memberships and any, bills that came in, and, just kept the budget, worked with the budget.
And before you came to the Alliance, you had worked in accounting or business?
Yes, I worked at a tax and accounting office.
Okay. And any other positions that you held before you?
I did. I had my own business of insurances and financial planning.
And are you from the Danville area then?
I have lived most of my life here, yes.
Okay. And what is your educational background? Because I think you did you go to Bloomsburg University?
I graduated from Penn State.
Oh, Penn State,
Yeah,
okay.
Penn State with a communications degree.
Oh, okay. All right. And your background, did that help with any of your husband's businesses? Did you help with running any of them?
I help when he asks for it or needs it. Bob usually does. He's well versed in that industry. I have some experience in that area, but when he asks for it or needs it, then yes, I assist him in any way that I can.
Okay. And you have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are their names and ages then?
Jagger is just turned 16. So Dylan is 11 and Lennon is 7.
And that is the musical influence of Bob.
Yes. Right. As you can see at the pub, that, he is a big, and so am I, but he is a much longer Rolling Stones fan, and that kind of started it, and we just went from there.
Okay. With regard to the Business Alliance, what qualities do you see in yourself in guiding the Alliance on toward more success?
Well, like I said, I've spent most of my life here, and I'm at least a third generation Danvillian. I, only in my childhood or when I went away to school did I not live in Danville. I'm raising my family here. I want it to be the best place to live and work, and just kind of, for recreational purposes, for myself, for our community, for my children.
How about with regard to, and I know Danville doesn't have that many vacant storefronts. Do you have any plans to try and fill the
Yes.
ones, or also with getting more people to move downtown in the upper floors? Any kind of...
Absolutely, yes, that's always in the works. That is, I'd spoken with somebody, I really don't want to mention who it was, that was from the Bloomsburg area. I spoke with him last weekend. He's interested in, opening a restaurant downtown here, which I think would be great, but there are some issues that need to be worked out, and I'm trying to help him as much as I can work through that process. And there's also some other, property owners that are being helpful with that as well. Mike Kuziak he had also reached out to this person and, had talked to them. So, and he has quite a few buildings downtown.
Nice.
So, working with Mike, I'm actually meeting with him this afternoon and discussing some possibility, things that we can do to make this a more vibrant, downtown, and anything we can do to get people to live downtown in the second and third floors. The DBA had worked with an upper floor. They did an upper floor study many years ago and worked to revitalize and bring people downtown to live and just to shop and, kind of hang out in the community. There's a lot of things in the works that, I would love to see every storefront filled, and that those businesses that are in there are successful.
The Alliance recently sponsored that first international food fair. Was that fairly successful?
It was. It went very well for the first year, and we look forward to it continuing to be bigger and better each year. So,
and of course the Spring Fling is huge, and then coming up is the arts and crafts.
The fall arts and crafts, yes.
Any other plans for any other special events?
We have, in February is the Winter Wine in the Pines. Now last year we had that in the Danville Borough Ballroom. That's in February, but the previous year we had that at Frosty Valley, the old Frosty Valley. So we have the Spring Fling, Taste of the Nations, Fall Arts and Craft, and then of course the holiday promotions. So, and we just did a promotional video with Trevor Polly Studios, where he interviewed some of our downtown business members, and it's just recently posted on Facebook and stuff, and it's gotten quite a bit of activity. So, and it was great. It was well done, and it just kind of highlights some of our owners, and we plan on doing that at least quarterly, and possibly for the holidays as well.
Other downtowns in the area, I'm sure you've visited them, and any...
Just keep going.
Yeah. Any takes that you get from other area downtowns that you think maybe might fit into Danville?
Yeah, each downtown is unique. So, but there are certain things that I look at that I think that maybe that would work in something that would work in Danville. There's some signage that we're looking at. Our design committee is looking at so maybe some perpendicular signage off of the building, so that as people are walking downtown, the view, they can see what's coming up. They can see the stores instead of having to turn and look. So we're going to work with the property owners, the businesses to, and the borough. We have to work, on the signage with the borough. And thankfully, we have a good working relationship with our local governments. to get that. So there's a lot of things in the works that we're looking to, just to kind of move forward and keep it a vibrant.
We'll be right back.
Sunbury Motors Kia is helping make summer memories last and last during the America's Best Value Summer Clearance with 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's 6 years.
Hello, we're back with one-on-one with Rebecca Dressler, the new executive director for the Danville Business Alliance. Okay, yeah, we were talking about downtown Danville, and do you have maybe some concept or something you envision for the future of Danville that you think the downtown will look like maybe in, say, 5 years or something like that?
Well, we're hoping to get started on the Canal Park project next year. We're hoping as everything falls into place and we can get that. So that's going to be a great space for people to gather and for entertainment. I'm sure that you have seen the diagrams before of an amphitheater and just seating for people down below and on the street side. Biters is allowing us to paint a mural on the side of their building. Okay. So it's it's an exciting time in that space. We're still looking at doing an arts, community arts center here.
Oh, okay.
We're installation of bike racks are going to be happening sometime within the next week or two. And that there's several places downtown they're going to be located, and then up at Geisinger. So there's a lot of great things happening. I think it's going to be, it's walkable for people. It's going to be, bike friendly. I just see storefronts filled and people shopping downtown, and our friends and neighbors, our business owners are successful. So I very positive outlook for our downtown.
And you think there are a lot of people that do ride bikes around?
I do.
Then even back and forth to work? And
I think so, and I think that's becoming a more prevalent way of travel in this area. And of course, we have a lot of great trails in this area. So if someone on a weekend they're on the trails and they come downtown, they want a cup of coffee, they can have park their bikes and secure them, and I think that will allow more people to access the downtown.
Okay. And being from the area, and you do have a lot of family members right in the area,
Yes.
and too, so you do feel that kind of helps you, and maybe even in your position then with a lot of support.
Absolutely, yes. They're very supportive in the sense that it allows me to be work late or attend meetings or things like that, because my mother and my mother-in-law especially are extremely helpful with taking care of my kids if I need them to. It's there's nothing like family, and of course they're very supportive in every way. And they have opinions, and I value, just like everybody, I want to hear people's ideas, suggestions, and their opinions on what we can do to make our community better, because there's always room for improvement. Even though things are, Jim laid a pretty good foundation of, of us moving in the right direction, and he's left a good foundation for me to build upon. So, and I just am interested in hearing what people, the ideas they have and suggestions in order to make it better.
And you had said earlier that you grew up pretty much in Valley Township.
I did.
And now you're in Mayberry.
I am.
And then when you tell people from outside the area that there's a Mayberry in Montour County,
Mayberry RFD.
Yeah, they don't believe it.
Right.
But you're in Mayberry Township, and you've been in Mayberry for a while?
I have been out there for probably close to 20 years. Gosh, that does. Wow. Yes.
And it is kind of truly a Mayberry too, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's very rural. We have a lot of farmers out there. Yeah, it's very nice, peaceful.
Okay. And when you're not working, then
Mm-hmm.
what do you enjoy doing? Maybe yourself or with the family, or
I like to read. I don't get to read as much as I used to, or as often as I would like, but I do enjoy reading. I like photography. I like gardening. I work a lot in my flower beds, and just enjoying my family. I previously coached my younger daughter's soccer team, but last year was going to be my last year. She's now at an age where she needs somebody with a little more skill and knowledge to kind of get them to the next level as well. So I sit on some committees. I'm treasurer of the Danville football boosters, and so now that the season is gearing up, so are we. So we're meeting a little more often. And I know with this position, there's a lot of outside meetings that I will attend as well. So I think I'll be pretty busy.
And your husband Bob had been the basketball coach for quite a while.
Yes.
Then?
Yep. I think last year was the first year he was not. Yeah. So and he kind of enjoyed that because our son is now at that age where he's playing. He's so Bob was we were able to go to the games together, and it was nice to be able to just attend those and kind of watch. And Jagger, he's going to be a sophomore this year. So so it's nice. It's nice to be able to just attend those games together.
And Bob was Alliance board president at one time too,
He was,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And is he still on?
He resigned.
Is he's still a member of the Alliance?
Oh, absolutely.
But he's not on the board. Though.
Right.
Bob.
No, he did resign. Yes.
Okay.
A little bit of conflict. He didn't want to. And he resigned, but he absolutely is still an active member of the DBA.
Thanks for joining us with One-on-One today. Be sure to come back next week.
Thank you for watching One-on-One. We hope you will join us this coming Thursday at noon for a new installment.